Hey, what up guys, Haymitchmitch, and I'm doing my quick movie review on the movie Code 8. Let's get into it, yeah!
This is the LCPD. All workers come outside for identification.
Everyone line up. Jinx to the sky.
He's got a warrant.
Hands away from your body now!
I repeat, code 8. Guardian cleared for drop.
Everybody face down now! I need electric. I'm an electric.
I'm wondering why a guy like you got in the van. We need to know who we're working with.
My mom's sick. I need money.
So, I'm doing my quick movie review on the movie Code 8, and this is going to be a non-spoilers for this movie. And so, as you can tell, like, this movie is pretty much goes online with, like, an X-Men type of feel. And so, yeah, I saw this movie trailer come out months ago. I think it came out in October, and I'm finally getting to watch it online on Amazon Prime and everything. And so, yeah, I think it was a fun sci-fi movie. You know, it's definitely not a blockbuster, but it's just a nice movie to watch if you don't have anything to watch, right? So I watch Arrow. I'm into watching all in the Arrowverse, so Flash and everything. So Stephen Amell is there, Robbie Amell is there too, and so that's cool. But speaking of the CW and Arrowverse, I just feel like this movie is a pilot for a CW show, right? And not necessarily a bad thing, but I think when it comes, I love watching like sci-fi, right? I love watching things with people with superpowers and everything, so I'm more than willing to watch this movie. But I don't know, there isn't any large topics, there's nothing new here. Especially since X-Men has done a really great job as far as fleshing out what a world would be if people had superpowers, right? And this movie doesn't do anything new, right? But I will say, I think, they didn't go to like origins as far as how or why people have powers, they just have powers, right? But I do find it, one element that was kind of interesting is that, earlier on in the turn of the 20th century, the people with superpowers pretty much built the nation or the city, right? Because they use their powers of electricity and welding, whatever, they can build the city. But technology was able to increase so that it kind of like surpassed their abilities, because when you have people with superpowers, you're probably going to get fatigue over time, whereas technology could probably go a lot longer, right? And they have done this like in Legend of Korra. People who work like firebenders could generate electricity to fuel the city and stuff. So that aspect is cool, but again, we kind of seen that in other media, right? And then likewise, we see, because of technology has surpassed the abilities of these supers, you see them become like a second-class citizens, and then you essentially have sentinels, what they call guardians, to kind of like suppress and work with the police officers and everything. Speaking about like the CW and everything, would this movie translate into a TV show, right? On the CW, not so much, because you already have the Arrowverse already saturated with people with superpowers, but maybe it could work on something like Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu, whatever. But I think there wasn't anything introduced into this movie that was new, right? Okay, so at its core, it's about someone who is doing something for their mom, their parents, and their family, and they're down on the luck, so they kind of need to do something, a heist and all that stuff. And so we've seen this in other movies, and it's fine. Obviously, the superpower aspect is the twist, or the thing that is different, right? And that's fine. Obviously, you do character development, and that's fine. I think if you are to introduce this into a Netflix series by itself, I don't think it would work. But if I were to think about, I was thinking about it. maybe if the robots became self-aware, right? So now you have a Terminator situation along with the X-Men. So if you have like three factions in which you have robots and the humans and now the supers, and now I think you have something a little bit interesting there as far as developing something, you know, because the robots definitely, they are limited in resources, right? They can probably build more robots, but obviously it's the humans who ultimately have political stance as far as who can get more material, right? So the robots need to kind of like think about how they're going to strategize if they are self-aware, and we don't know how smart I guess they will be. And then the supers, even though they have a lot of powers, maybe they don't have a coalition, and then their powers differ, and they are the minority. I think in the movie they represent 2% of society, so they are a small minority, and so obviously the humans have a larger faction. And so like if you have a third faction, kind of like a war against each other, I think that actually plays into a nice movie, TV series. But right now, as where it stands, I don't think there is. So yeah, well, you know what, Hulu, Netflix, you can help me. You can give me some claim to rights because I gave you your TV show right there. But yeah, overall, it's a nice popcorn movie, right? It's not a blockbuster. If you like science fiction, this is a movie that you can watch and have a like fun time. But it's definitely one of those things that you watch like on Redbox, you know, like it's just one of those movies like, oh, let's watch something, you know. And so there's, while fun, not necessarily life changing, right? And so yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's one of the things that you just watch casually. So yeah, again, I still had fun with it, so you might want to check it out and see if my thoughts and what I said matches this movie. So yeah, so awesome. Thank you for watching. You can also check out my main channel at Mitch Lozada, where I do other TV movie reviews and talk about pop culture and current events. And I also do my joint channel, It's Mandatory Fun, with my friend Jen, where we do videos together. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.